Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Stoneblock 2. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the last episode and there were a couple of comments that I want to address today, but firstly, the server was struggling again, and I think the issue is with the server processing either chunk loading or just chunks unloading in general, because I think what keeps happening is when I leave the base, this guy keeps on dropping, even though these chunks aren't chunk loaded. I don't know if anything here automatically chunk loads stuff. I don't think anything should. At least I hope it doesn't, because I don't want to have everything chunk loaded, and as soon as I leave the server, all of these chunks should unload and not cause strain on the server unless somebody loads them, which is kind of what I want. But every time I log in, this is drained a little bit. And currently we just used up our entire demonic gargantuan drum of refined oil, so we're currently draining this and slowly making more and filling this guy up as well. So hopefully now that I've disabled chunk loading from FTB utilities just entirely, just no chunk loading whatsoever, hopefully we can get stuff done here at least, and hopefully it doesn't cause problems. So I'll see if I leave the server. I'll leave for a couple of hours after I'm done recording this episode at least, and we'll see if this guy is drained, because if it is, then we need to possibly do something with an online detector and turn things on and off. We could, for example, just turn off this resonant retriever or this resonant retriever or something, just to prevent items from being pulled into here, and as soon as everything drains here, we shouldn't be dropping any more canola seeds here causing issues, or dropping canola seeds in here causing issues. We could even have, just out of this online detector, just a redstone conduit with wireless transmitters going to different places in the base and turning machines off. For example, we could, just turn off this guy to put in more empowered oil or something. And just to get the base kick-started, we just have to take a couple stacks of canola seeds and toss them down here to make more crystallized canola. So we start making empowered canola and then getting empowered seeds put into the precision dropper over here. Currently, I think we're struggling for canola here. I'll set you to extract 16 at a time, just so it's a bit faster, I think. And then that should sort out our issues. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so I did a little bit of work in between episodes, and one of the comments was, I think, really cool. And I already started building a second area for these, and some person suggested that I should just dig up, put a glass roof, and then copy this like upside down, so kind of like it's a mirror. I think that will look really cool. So what I'll do is I'll repurpose this for something else. We might make it smaller or make it bigger depending on what we need, but all of this I'm gonna collect, and all of the cabling and all that, and I'm gonna dig out a room up here, as I've said, and set up another set of these just upside down, and hopefully we can get them connected through one of these dark oak logs. We can just run a cable here and then facade it from all the other sides and just run a cable up, because we don't really have space to run cable unless we want to run cable over here to the top. We could also just run it from here to the ceiling. That might also work. Because we have dense cables going down. We could have them going up as well and have another cable line going there. And if we have any machines that need to be in the ceiling or something, we can just do that. But yeah, let me get to work and get this completed. I think this is how I want to have it set up, and we can put some glass right here in betwixt this, if I can get a block to stand on, because hover mode isn't good enough. Not on there, but we need glass like right here, and I don't think quite clear glass is gonna cut it, because it's very clear. And I like it for holes in the floor where I need to see stuff that is downstairs, but here we need something a little bit more obtrusive. So maybe, does the fused quartz do the whole same thing, or does it have like a texture? No, it just does the same thing. Okay, so from glass types, we could, just put, let's say a gray glass or something that has a bit more texture. So gray, do I have any gray dye? We can probably do some black dye. We have some black dye here and some bone meal. And let's just do say 16 of these. And I should have a little bit of glass. 12,000, that should be fine. Let's just get a stack and just do regular gray stained glass. It is gonna have, again, a clear transparent texture because I have Optifine and a texture pack. But at least it's gonna have a bit more of a darker vibe. Yeah, that's gonna be better, I think. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. I was debating on putting the glass 1 block up higher and then having a 2 block gap, but I think that's gonna be too weird and less of a mirror. So I think I wanna have it that way. So I need to do, I think, a little bit more digging up top just so I have some cable management room. And we also need to design something here in the walls so that it's not just pure stone, I think. We're gonna make the floor pretty much the same as this. The only thing that we're gonna have to change is the steel scaffolding, because if we put it from down below, it's gonna look like this. And we don't actually have a block that looks like this, but upside down, I don't think, from immersive. There are conveyor belts, there's covered ladders, there's slabs, but I don't think we have anything that we can use that is that would look the same with the whole gray border on the side and be upside down. So I think we're just gonna go with some treated wood planks and just put those there. And I think that should look fine. And we're not really gonna look that up there that much, so we're not gonna notice it pretty much. So I need to make a bunch more glass. And one thing that I wanna do that I just remembered is upgrade a pickaxe. In the last episode, we had that thing set up to level it up. And as you can see, it has 1 modifier and it's now heroic. So we're just gonna come in here, we're gonna repair it with some slime, and then we're gonna add the last reinforcement, which is gonna make it unbreakable. And then we can replace the head with a cobalt head, and now we have a super duper fast, really good pickaxe. We can repair our hammer with some stone, and that is pretty much it for the pickaxe. I wanna also make probably a different sword, or at least just not use a sword. But I think a different sword would be best. Possibly a dark steel sword, because I can, or an end steel sword or something like that, because I can use it with travel, the travel ability. Actually, now that I think about it, let's just get a staff of traveling. I think we can manage that, hopefully. That's an ender crystal. That's a soul vial of an enderman. That's going to be a bit more difficult, I think, than we want just right now. We could use this teleport staff from Actual Editions, but I think it's very weird the way it works. There's also a staff of levity, which applies anti-gravity to the player with shift right click. Oh, that's kind of like a flying wand-ish. But it uses, I think, Vapor of Levity. Yeah, and Vapor of Levity is... It's a lot of work if we want to go that way. But I think... we're just gonna get a staff of traveling when we can. I'm gonna probably work on it maybe in the next episode, or see if we can set up just a dark room just to get some mob spawning. Possibly we're just gonna get into mob spawners in the future anyway. So let's not get too much ahead of ourselves and just work on this and get it building. And one thing that is really gonna help me is a better backpack. Jetpack is what I wanted to say, jetpack. So let's get into the reinforced jetpack. It's going to require a bit of electrum, and we can probably get into the resonant jetpack. I don't think we can get into the flux infused jet plate. We have some cryotheum though, so we might be able to. I probably can just spend some time crafting the components that we need, because we need some of these redstone energy flux ducts, so we're going to need some redstone melted and a lot of things crafted. So I think I'll just go and craft everything, and then we can make the jetpacks together. I have crafted everything that we need to get to the reinforced jetpack, and then also to the resonant jetpack. As soon as I type this, we should get our flux capacitor, and then we can get our resonant jetpack. And we're also going to get some armor plating for the jetpack as well. So we're going to go down here, and I have some bronze being made, and we're going to go over to our induction smelter that is not set up. Induction? Did I not have an induction smelter? Am I blind? That's a compactor. Oh, did I use it for anything? I don't know where my induction smelter is. Induction smelter. Apparently I'm missing it. So let's get an invar gear. I Like so. Can I make just like 2 kits? One of these and one of these. Possibly if I get a silver gear. I could be setting all of these up as recipes as well, because we have the AE2 stuff for this right now. But for the moment, I'm just going to do some manual crafting, and we're going to set it up off camera at some point. So we can go down here and put down the induction smelter right there, which is going to upgrade it, give it a couple of these, and then we can do this plus the bronze if we unlock it. That should get us the bronze armor plating, and then we can turn the bronze into Invar, like so, and Invar into Enderium, like that. And then combine this and this in here. And if you ever need to take this apart, you just put it here and you get both items back as well, which is really nice. So we now have a super duper resonant jetpack. Is there like Enderium armor? There isn't really. So there's nothing that looks the same green color that the Enderium reinforced jetpack does. But there is the flux infused armor, and you can get a jet plate that works. But this guy has very much is the right term to use, but it has much better hover mode, so I can easily work without dropping down too much. And we can also use just the wand to build this. And here is where we would have our dense cable go. How did I wire this downstairs here? I just went with smart cables here in the middle, and I just went full on dense cable, right? Okay. Our exit. There we go. So if we go back in here, we're just gonna run our dense cable. Possibly we're gonna go smart cable here and dense cable 1 block above. So I need to grab my destruction tool again and get another hole going up on top, make it a couple blocks bigger, just so we have a bit of breathing room and walking space. So let me get on that and wire everything up, and then we can build the floor and see how that will look. Over here by our ME system, we have a lot of the patterns in the interface terminal over here in our interfaces as well. Pretty much everything we need to make dense cables, smart cables, acceleration cards, all the different types of storage disks for the fluid and for the regular storage. I also just added some recipes to make the 64K crafting storage and the crafting co-processing units at least. Because I don't know if I want to have just these small of storages, because they won't be able to do very big operations. I don't even know if we'll have super big operations. We can probably get increased storages by just adding another layer of 64Ks up top. So why don't we get, let's say, how do we want to do this? I think I want to get some 64K. Some of these get me a total of 12, because that's going to be 8 for the top and 4 for the bottom. So get those going, and then I need co-processing. I'll just do unit, because that's going to find it easier. So it's 3 per thing, and we're going to get, so we need 8, I think, total, because we already are going to take 4 down. So we can grab those, and then 64K. They're getting done, so let's just grab these 5 that we have right now, and I'll show you what I mean. I've added in the glass as well, but I think we're just gonna take this off here for the moment. What we could possibly do is just have, let's say if we just take all of these out, right? And we're gonna slowly build our storages. So we can have, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total co-processors. And we can add these guys over here, and until we fill this up all with 64Ks, which is I think way overkill, we can't have a fully functioning storage. So what I wanted was basically 1, 2, 3 like that, and another one on top. So basically 28K of crafting storage, and 3 recipes can be done at the same time. I think that's going to be decent enough for the time being. I wanted to go bigger, but I think it's unnecessary for at least this playthrough. There isn't anything super complicated because it's just a regular kitchen sink pack and not a full-blown expert pack or something. So what we can do is grab our 64Ks, which should be done by now. Are you still making more? No, it made only 4. We need another 4, please. I made my math wrong, apparently. So that's not going to take too long to craft, so we can just wait on that. So that's 2 done. And I want to add them over there up on top so we can have a mirror the same way we have it here before. So that's all complete. So let's get ourselves in here somewhere. Let's just get a little bit of a 3x3 hole. And then we're going to place you there. And then you here, and here, and here. And then the 3 up on top. And another 3 on top. Like that. And like that. And I think that will be plenty of crafting storage for everything that we need. We also can connect these with some smart cable. It's just going to go over here. Across. Like this, so. And like so, and like so. Okay. Then we're going to have some P2P tunnels coming over here. So over here we don't... we actually need the dense cable to go to probably here-ish. I don't know exactly where I have the P2P tunnels down below and how I want to actually grab the channels up. We need a total of 3 there. So let's get down here a little bit just so we can see how this is going to work. So we're taking out of the dense cable here. And we kind of can drag a smart cable. Let's just drag it up here. I don't think it's necessary that we go on top of the ME controller. Even though it's going to probably make it look symmetrical and a little bit better, I think, because it's going to hide the canola power and all that stuff up top. So if we do this here, that is connecting to the energy acceptor. I think that is not going to cause problems. If it does, we can add cable anchors as well. So then let's go over here. What is my destructor set to? I think a 3x3. So let's do that. And let's leave a 3 gap. Can I sit? Thank you. It's at a 3 gap because I don't know where we're gonna come out over here. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. We can just drag our dense cable up to the top. It doesn't actually need to be a dense cable, but we're gonna do it anyway. So like this. Let's just go up here by the ceiling. This would need to go 1 block higher. So let's just get rid of this. Like so. And like so. And here we would add our P2P tunnels. So I'm gonna go grab those and we can have them hooked up as well. And then I just need to put in the floor and we're gonna take a look at how this looks without any of the wall design in, pretty much. I have the flooring on the mirror in, basically a ceiling, and we're gonna add a feral flare lantern. That is always a tongue twister for me. And that is gonna provide light in this room slowly. It's gonna just illuminate everything. If you press F7, we're gonna see the lights slowly, or the excess slowly disappear as this light goes around and lights everything up. It does quite a bit of a radius, and I think that is really cool. I also set up these lights all over the base and removed all the painted glowstone as well. But I have the P2P tunnels not made because I forgot to do that. I have the recipe, I believe, in the system here. So we can do, I think it's Shift, Control click, I think it might be. Let's just get the 40 P2P tunnels made. All right, that's a few. We're gonna grab, since we just need... Well, actually, we need a couple of channels. We have, I don't know which ones are connected. You are device linked, you're unlinked, you're unlinked, and you're unlinked. And we have the yellow going for AE stuff. So let's grab, this left one is gonna be for both of the, because each one of these is it's 16 channels per one. So we just need the one, yeah. And then the other one is gonna be D9E8. I did red actually here. So let's do red as well on this side since we have it. Let's put this guy away. So this is unlinked. This is linked to outputs. So let's do the top one to be the ones that we need. And then we're going to do, which one is already linked? I think this one. Yeah, it's the D9E8. So this one is going to be the middle P2P tunnel, and this one is going to be the both of the left ones. So if we go or both of these. So if we go here, here, whoops, and here, we can do this one here, this one here. We're gonna remove this and actually place it just on a dense cable just so it faces correctly, like there. And we're gonna do that over here. And I forgot to grab some red cable just so we're gonna know which ones are where. So smart cable, I do not have any more red, so let's just get this and then dye. I should have some red dye. There we go. Awesome. So if we go back up here, we can finally get this hooked up. So we're gonna put a red on each one of these. And then we're actually gonna get just our destruction tool and just get a 3x3 area here dug out. Like so, and we can just use our hammer on the end. And then we're gonna run a regular smart cable, because we just need 3 channels here all the way over here to this one, and then connect it up to the main system by just going like this. And that. We're actually just gonna go here, but let's do cables like this. And then just remove the side here. Like so. That should all connect again. We should have 3 channels. This should start, once it connects, we should get 16 out of 32 channels, hopefully. This one is linked output side, network engineer, 128 channels. Yep, everything linked up. This is doing 16, this should be doing 4, and this is doing 16. Wonderful. Okay, we can take our dev tool here and cover this up like so. We'll just cover it up all the way to here. Wonderful. And we can also cover up this top part here. We're gonna actually build a floor kind of the same way that I did over here. Let's also put in the glass here. I'm just gonna use my wand. And that I think looks pretty cool. We still need to add the walls. I don't know what I should do there because I don't have any walls here. And if we wanted to mirror the entire base, that would be a horrible amount of work and not really worth it. But I think I like it this way. If you have any suggestions on what I should do in the walls here, if I should leave it stone, I'll leave it stone. But I think we can do better and set up a nice little wall here of something that would probably look much better. We could add everywhere we have that treated wood. We could just go with treated wood down the bottom and then do kind of the same pattern in the walls, or just do something different. So I won't do anything right now. You let me know down in the description what I should do, or if I should leave it bland or do something interesting there. So that is our applied energistics autocrafting thingamajiggy set up. So we can now have a bunch of autocrafting patterns and recipes everywhere. So you are, I believe, this right one. Yeah. I saw this in a video where somebody put all of the memory cards for the different P2P tunnels in a chest. And I think it's that is much more useful because you can just go here, grab the memory card you need, link the P2P tunnel, and not worry about it. You don't have to go here and worry about clicking wrong, creating new channels, and it's just nice for getting P2P tunnels to multiple outputs. And the way I'm using applied energistics, because we're not using it that much for control of the machines, we're mostly using redstone and phantom faces and stuff. You could have different sub-networks for different things. So for example, this is our main network, our main storage. And let's say we would want to process the ores that are here. We can take this storage crate and create a separate network with just like pulverizers and redstone furnaces that would process all of these ores and then send them to the system without ever the system seeing the ores. It would just see the ingots, but we could still use applied energistics to process it. I think it's much easier to just have an item conduit extracting out of an ender chest into machines other than using different P2P tunnels to send things around the place, because applied energistics is laggy anyway. And I think that just adds to the lag. But over here, we have a bunch of erodium. So we can upgrade the lens here on, I think, both of these, probably, maybe not. But let's see if we just go here. This is gonna make 7 And this is not gonna make 12, it's 10. Okay, we can make one into a crystal laser lens, like so. The other one is gonna have to wait a little bit, but this will at least increase the production of crystal from our void ore miners over here. And we have a bunch of ores that I can probably just extract into a drawer setup just to clear up this crate, because this is gonna fill up and start not producing ores anymore. So I think we can do that next. Just set up a tiny bit of a drawer system just for everything to be organized. I'm gonna grab some drawers, grab some void upgrades and some storage upgrades, and we can set it up. The drawers are now set up. I have some spaces here left for some of the higher tier crystals that we're gonna get into when we upgrade the machinery here. And I think we can have a same setup, or a similar setup at least, that we have here by the sieves, where we extract everything into drawers and then we get it processed after. So if we're overproducing ores with the machines or with the miners, and the machines that are processing the ores aren't keeping up, we can just set up more machines later to increase the production and have the drawers be like a backlog of the ores whilst they process. Because what we can actually set up that might be a bit more efficient, I think, than just having a random setup of pulverizers and redstone furnaces, we can design a machine for each one of the ores to be processed. So if we need to specifically say that we need a bunch of draconium, for example, we could do the tripling with mechanism, we could do the tripling with, let's say, cinnabar, for example, or rich slag. That can be produced with processing different types of ores with, let's say, the pyro concentrator. There's also, I think, 100% chance of getting it somewhere, or there might not be, but we're gonna get it with ore processing if we do the ore processing with thermal expansion, which I think I might want to do this time around, because I've already done the mechanism last round in Stoneblock 1, so might as well do thermal expansion like we're doing over by the sieves. And even our sieves aren't super efficient because we could be processing the chunks better to get more resources out of them, but that is kind of just like a basic system for producing our basic resources, at least. I think one thing that we can also do is upgrade this fractionating still to a higher tier, because I think we're currently struggling to keep up with the... we're kind of slowly getting a net gain once this guy filled up, but we can easily upgrade this fractionating still with some upgrade kits. I think it was the hardened tier, so let's just do this together. Let's set up recipes for these. So we're gonna do this. Actually, this guy I want to use fused quartz here. So we're just gonna do that and code it in. And then signalum, like so. And enderium right here. All right, and then we need a lot of the recipes for the gears. I think for the moment, we can just teach it how to make stone gears. And we can do a regular recipe for gears like this, or we could set up compactors where they would make gears for us automatically. But for now, I think we're just gonna do this. So electrum, like so. And for this guy, we need some of the cryothium dust. I don't think we're making snowballs automatically, so we might struggle on that for the moment. We're not making any of these alloys automatically anyway. So let's also get pyrotheum dust like so. And that should be, I think, everything that we need for the kits. So let's get you in here. And then the gears can go somewhere here, let's say. Doesn't really matter what order they go in. And we can add this guy and this guy right here. Okay, so if we want a resonant upgrade kit, we can get one. A signalum upgrade kit, we can get one. And a reinforced upgrade kit, we can get one. One thing that we're also gonna add is the recipe for an augment for speed. So we're gonna do that and that. And we can add those over here. Bam and bam. Okay, and then let's just grab these. We already have them made, and our kits. Like so. And we can make the conversion kits, because this basically means these only upgrade to the tier from the previous tier. And this one, it fully upgrades a block to a given tier. So if you have a reinforced conversion kit, it will automatically upgrade to the reinforced tier if the machine is hardened or if the machine is basic, for example. So if we add this, this should start producing refined canola oil much more quickly. And that should be pretty cool. And I think I'm going to end the episode off here. As I've said, let me know down in the comments what you want me to do with this room. I still need to add the steel fences over on the corners, but I was out of steel at the moment. I think I made some more downstairs. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be it. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. You can also subscribe to see new videos. You can support me on Patreon if you want to play with me on this server. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye.